Hey guys, what's up? It's Weston. I've been on testosterone for 2 years. It's actually passed a week or two ago, but I'm a slacker, so I haven't done a video yet. But yeah, it's really still hard to believe that I've made it this far, and some days, other days, I feel like this is how I've always been. So yeah, I guess I could just jump right in. I'm also 1.5 years post-op, so let's start with that. I'll show you guys my chest. Let's see here. Probably set that right there. Maybe. Okay. So here's my chest. It's I don't know, I feel like it's looked the same for quite a while now. Like, I'm just kind of used to how it is, but yeah, 1.5 years and more chest hair later. That's where I'm at. So yeah, I mean, I'm still super happy with how everything turned out, and I'm just working on trying to get my pecs to be a little more even. Like, my left side seems like it's just not as big as my right side, which I'm right-handed, so that's not a total shock. But yeah, I mean, as far as transitioning goes, things are great. Like, the further along I get in this process, the more settled in I get. It's just, it's hard to find the words sometimes to really do it justice. You know, there are a lot of things that change and that happen, and as much as I try to keep up with it all, I really don't think I can. There are a lot of things that I think have changed as a result of transitioning, but I've also had a lot of changes from my efforts to I guess overcome depression, efforts to improve myself, efforts to be healthier, more positive. I mean, all of these things, I kind of just decided to really tackle all of it at the same time. And while I'm not making constant forward progress, I can say that I've come a long way over these last couple years, and transitioning has certainly been a pretty major part of that. There aren't a lot of physical changes to really talk about beyond what I've already talked about. It just progression of things, mainly body hair and facial hair. So I think the biggest things that I'm noticing more and more as this process continues are emotional changes, and I guess not even just emotional, but also like behavioral changes, sort of. I don't know. I'm finding that I don't feel like I react as like, my emotional response to things is not as high as it used to be. Like, it's diminished now. Mainly in terms of like sadness, yeah, I guess mainly in like depressive sorts of things. I have noticed I'm more aggressive, especially when I'm driving. I've never really been like a super aggressive driver. Like, I've got, you know, a clean driving record and everything, but I've just kind of noticed, like, I get more frustrated. I get more just I'm a more aggressive driver for sure. Life is so much better. Not to say that transitioning hasn't been difficult. It doesn't have its really trying moments and times where I've never had times where I've regretted making this decision, but I have had times where I've kind of had to mourn some losses. You know, not everything is all upside. Everything comes with its drawbacks, and the things that I've had the hardest time with have been some like distancing in some of my previous relationships with friends. For a while, well, for a long time, I was really missing my like female friendships, and not to say I don't still have female friendships, but it's just different now, and it's also a lot harder to form female friendships, I'm finding. And that's something I'm learning to adjust to. I was having a really hard time with that for a while because I've predominantly since like high school, I guess, just been friends with mostly women. Very few male friends. The few male friends that I've had were often like either childhood friends or friends of friends kind of thing. So that's been another area where I'm realizing like I guess where I'm having a bit of a harder time is figuring out how to socialize with men. Like it's just, I don't know, it's just something that I really didn't pay a lot of attention to before, and I didn't spend a lot of time dealing with it or worrying about it or really caring about it. But I'm finding that I seem to connect less with women than I used to, and this is something I've come to realize more recently. Like when I'm hanging out with my female friends, I don't feel as connected to the conversations, to what's going on, and that's been really weird for me because, like I said, that was always such a source of happiness and comfort and support for me, and I'm not really getting those same things out of it anymore. And I am finding myself really wanting to connect with men more and just form relationships with other guys. Dating. Dating has been another interesting situation. Not because, oh, it's so hard. It's just, it's a whole different ball game. Like, I'm a big fan of analogies, and I've yet to come up with an analogy that I feel like adequately explains how I feel about it. Like, it's just, yeah, I mean, I'm still dating women, and I'm still, but a lot has changed. The whole landscape has changed. All the rules have changed because women respond very differently to a man than they do another woman. And regardless of whether or not they can tell that that woman is a lesbian, she's still a woman. And like, I just get very different responses to the same things that I used to do are getting very different reactions and responses than they were previously. So I do feel like I have like a dampened emotional connection with other people. And that may change. Like I said, it could just be where I'm at, or it could be a result of my transition. I'm really not sure at this point. But I can say that I am so happy that I made this decision. I'm so happy I finally took that leap. I finally just did it. I really, really never thought I could. I honestly, for so long, I was so sure that it just wasn't in me. I wasn't capable of setting aside all those fears, all those concerns, all of those, some irrational, some very rational, and just doing what I need to do for me. And like I said, I mean, I can't say everything has been positive about it, but overall, yes, it's been an overwhelmingly positive experience. It's been something that obviously has been very life altering. I mean, it has impacted my life so dramatically in such a great way. I'm glad I didn't wait any longer. Of course, I wish I had done it sooner, but we all have to get there in our own way, on our own time, and it happened for me when it was right, and I'm glad it didn't take any longer. So yeah, 2 years in, couldn't be happier. I mean, it's great. It's really great. A year and a half after surgery as well, like, I'm stoked. I'm really happy about my new life, my new identity. It's all really settling in and solidifying. I know some guys, I would hear videos, some guys talk about in videos like how they were just like instantly happy and everything was instantly better, and although logically I knew that probably wasn't super accurate, it was still hard sometimes to feel like, why am I not just, taking on this whole thing, and why am I not getting these happy fuzzy feelings that these guys seem to be having? Not to say I was unhappy with the transition, but some things just weren't, it just hadn't all coalesced, I guess. It's hard to find the right words, but it's something that I just needed to give time. I needed to have more experiences in this new identity with people seeing me as a man, and it's taken some time, but I feel like I'm really getting to a place where I'm settling in. I'm figuring out who Weston is as opposed to who I was before. And I do feel like it is a distinct difference. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I guess if I really took the time and tried to sit down and figure out what all the things are that have changed and how I'm different, but I mean, of course, essentially I'm still the same person, but so much has changed. I really truly do feel like I'm a different person than I was before starting all of this. So, and I don't see that as a bad thing at all. I think it's awesome. But anyway, thank you all for the support and all the kind words, and yeah, I hope those of you out there who are considering transitioning are able to find the courage that you need, the support that you need to do what you need to do for you. Not make it about anybody else, not make it about what your family wants, what your friends want, what society wants. Make it about you. It's a lot easier said than done. It took me a really long time to get there, but I can tell you from the other side that it's great. It's worth the sacrifice. It's worth the struggles that you have to go through to get here, because man, it's a lot better to look in the mirror and like what you see looking back at you. So yeah, anyway, later.